It is the Flow Friday Sports Show, and joining me on the line now to talk all about Hume Netball with just one round left of the home and away season is Carla Fletcher. Great to have you on, Carla. What's been happening?
Hi, Ellis. How are you? I'm really good. Nothing much. Looking forward to the last week of netball and then getting stuck into some finals.
As we all are, and the entertainment was on show again over the weekend. We'll start with the game that saw Murray Magpies hosting Lockhart. Lockhart getting away with it in the end, a fairly comfortable win, but Murray Magpies were in this game, Carla.
Yeah, look, the score was 41 to the Magpies and 50 to Lockhart. And, it was the last home game for the Magpies on Saturday. Look, it was a great game, some great shooting from both sides, with the scores being fairly even during the first half. But, look, Lockhart just settled into the second half, and they made some key intercepts and ended up winning by 9. Best players for the Magpies were defenders Hannah Azai and Laura Kieran, who fought hard all game against the Lockhart shooters. And best players for Lockhart were youngsters Isabel Hogg in the goals and Emily McPherson, who played a really composed game at both ends of the court.
There we go. Well, the crowd at Urana were the only ones that really saw a semi-close game on the weekend, Carla. We will look at the fixture that saw Osborne travel to the BB Saints and in the end, a comfortable victory, and we all expected that it would be for Osborne.
Yeah, but the Saints kept the Osborne girls on their toes for the first half. Look, it was a pretty tough game and Osborne had to work really hard to take the front position and drive onto the ball. Osborne's defenders stood tall and turned the ball over, and they had an absolutely brilliant last quarter with a 20-2 goal effort. Sally Hunter was absolutely buggered after 4 quarters in goal defence, and she took home the player's player. And the coach's award went to Gabby O'Connell, who worked really hard and fed the ball well into the shooters.
Well, I'll tell you what, we were sort of laughing about whether I was going to be really off the mark when I was talking about maybe Jindera, they might slip up in the last couple of games because it's all so comfortable for them on the table and they're just going to be looking towards the final series. But anything but Carla. Jindera really making a strong statement, absolutely dismantling CDHBU on the road.
Yeah, look, they put up a great scoreboard on the weekend, Jindra. It was a pretty good game, though, and it was a wet second half. But, look, Jindra's awards, their coach, Tegan Vogel, couldn't go past the 2 shooters in Daria Brook and Chelsea Burns. They shot their 1,000th goal for the season. So well done to both of those girls. And also Taylor Vogel, who played consistently in the mid-court. Best players for CDHBU were Tamir Richardson, Kath Wood and Emily Boyle.
We'll take a look at Henty. They played at home on the weekend and they lost in the end to the Giants, and I'm sure most people would have expected that outcome. But Henty finishing the season with a decent amount of points that they've accumulated over the last few games, so they've really had a go, haven't they, Carla?
Yeah, look, it was a fairly closely contested game there for the beginning of the game, and it was the All In Sports live stream game for the week. And Ramble-Bundry were pretty keen to come out strong as well, and they were determined for a win against Henty. It was a pretty competitive first quarter with Henty working really well, but unfortunately the goals just weren't going in when they needed them to. And then the Ramble-Bundry girls made a few changes at halftime, and the girls really stepped it up and took control of the game, and they had a pretty comfortable win. So award winners for Ramble-Bundry were Nikita Clancy, Caitlin Kotzer and Katie Kelleher. And, the Henty coach, Kelsey Spears, is super proud of her girls. It's been a tough year for them and on the scoreboard, but they're really starting to gel together and work really hard, and she's looking really forward to next year. And award winners for Henty were Taylor Andrews and Liv Hall and Rachel Terlich.
Yeah, we certainly hope that they will be more competitive next year. Let's talk about the Billabong Crows girls hosting Holbrook. They had to win this game, Billabong. Degree of pressure on them to keep their place in the top four, and they made no mistake in the end, 67-34. But Holbrook, I guess you would have said going into this game regarding their ladder position, they've still been competitive on more than enough occasions this season, so it wasn't going to be a walkover.
No, and look, Holbrook knew they were going to be in for a tough game, but they were actually down a couple of their two regular shooters. And the Crows girls, they started strong and they just kept the momentum going for the remainder of the game. Brooke Davies in goal defence had a cracker of a game, and Paige Maloney in wing attack, she also led from the front and gave multiple options in the attack end. And she was assisted by her sister Bethany in the goals. And also Harriet Simpson is starting to come back into form at goalkeeper after a little bit of time off. And award winners for Holbrook were young Maddie Black, who had a full game in the goal. She stepped up from the 17. And Laura Skipworth, she played a really tightly contested game in goalkeeper.
I think, unfortunately, Carl can get the worst report card from the weekend's action, Carla, because only 8 points separates these two sides. In the end, 33-57, how long, way too strong. You'd have thought that Carl can would be more competitive in this one, Carla.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised by this score, but look, how long welcome back their coach, Emma Pargida, and they had, as you said, a pretty convincing win against one of the most improved teams. And, over the past few weeks, they've been pretty informed, the Colcan team. Best players for how long were Erin Harbright in goal shooter and Marnie Gorman in centre. But, look, I'm sure the Colcan girls will be looking to redeem themselves when they take on Lockhart this weekend.
Okay, we'll race through these games that are coming up in the final home and away round. Gindra, we've spoken about them. They should take care of Henty pretty comfortably. Osborne and Billabong Crows. Are the Crows a chance at all there, Carla?
Oh, look, I just think this is going to be a big blockbuster of a game this round. I really don't know who to pick here because both teams on their day could win. I did watch a little bit of Osborne and How Long the other week, and that was an absolutely amazing game. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the outcome of this the game, and I'm sure everybody else is in the top six. But I will go with Osborne because I just think, they've trying to get back where they were at the end of last year, and they might just come out a little bit more hungrier. But, the Crows are a really pretty determined team as well, so we'll see.
And you'd probably think that the Crows aren't going to have any pressure on them going into this game, so it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. Lockhart, Colcan will really want to bounce back, but Lockhart, no pushovers?
No, and look, and Colcan will be looking to take the point against Lockhart after the draw they had on their last meeting. Look, I think both teams are going to have to play their best. This is another game that's going to be a really interesting result, especially coming into finals. But if both teams play as best as they can, it's going to be a really interesting result. And hopefully it's not a draw again. But, we don't know. I'll let you pick someone there, Ellis.
Look, I'll go Lockhart just because they're the home side, and I expect that, given that they're also ahead of Colcan on the ladder, that they'll take care of business. CDHBU and the Giants, this one being played at the home ground of the Giants. CDHBU, I mean, this could be anyone's game, really, Carla.
Yeah, I think both of these two teams will be hoping to end their season on a winning note, but I think the Ramble-Bundra girls might be celebrating a little bit more on Saturday night this week.
I think you're right. Holbrook and the Saints, I wonder whether we might see a late rally from the Saints in this game, Carla, just because it's their last game of the season. It's the final round, and there'll be no pressure on them at all. So what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think this game's going to be closely contested as well, and both teams will be looking to finish the season well. But depending on if Holbrook's got their full team back and full strength in the goal circle, they've played some amazing games in the past few weeks, and I think they might just come home with the 4 points.
Last game sees How Long hosting Murray Magpies. Who gets the chocolates there, Carla?
Well, I think How Long will need to play a pretty strong, focused game against Murray Magpies. They put up a really strong performance against Lockhart last week. But look, How Long I think are really in form. They've got their coach back and they're playing some beautiful netballs. And I don't think they'll want to win going into the final. So I think How Long will take that game.
Carla Fletcher does a fantastic job as our correspondent from the Hume Netball competition. We thank you for your time, Carla. Enjoy the netball.
Thanks, Ellis. I look forward to chatting with you next week on the last game of the round.